Hey, what's up, Nick? Quick demo video for you for two sabers of yours, right? For your clients. I've got your Infinium saber right here that we'll go over first. And then I've got your Scrapflex right here that we'll go over last. They're both installed with Proffies. We'll go over the Infinium. It's got CC Sabers main PCB in there. It's got the two buttons set up with the Phil Guinness switches, with the brass switches. So when you're holding this guy and the switches are facing up, the switch on the left-hand side is the activation, and the right-hand side is the auxiliary. All right, right there. To get to everything, you just want to unscrew this pommel. This is the only place on the saber that opens up. And when you take this off, your chassis will slide right out, just like that. So nice and smooth in there. Goes in smooth, slides out just like that. This is using the Smuggler's Outpost Switch Pixel PCB set. So you got your, you're not going to be able to see that in the light. There's no light to show you. There's 14 pins down in there somewhere, and they stay there. And then here's the chassis. So you got your Proffie board right here, snap fit down into the shelf. There is a place for some art tape in the future if this ever gets loose. I don't see that ever happening. It's just something I like to put on there just in case it's ever needed. It does say Starfall Sabers over here for you. It says Solo Sabers over here for me, like I like to do, and removable battery setup. So spring side being over here by the board. I did try to make this chassis match the saber, small bit, just for some added aesthetic. It's running a 24 millimeter Smuggler's Outpost speaker in this guy. So we'll throw a battery in here. Slide this right in, slide in any way you want, and then lock the pommel down. Tighten it all the way down. Now this does have motion controls, so we could. You got your LEDs firing up. Your smooth swings working. Auxiliary. We could twist off. Or we could come over here and hit activation if we wanted. And tap it again to turn it off. Just like that. These take 1-inch diameter blades, both of them do. So I've got a test blade right here we'll throw in. And then I'm just going to lock it down my finger for the sake of this demo. But of course, you know the blade retention is right here. Super solid, nothing's wiggling around in here. So here we just tap for blaster deflex. We got blade lock up right here. You see the difference in my hand until you pull away from it. Twist off. And then we hit auxiliary to switch sound fonts.
Hero's Journey.
Now on this one, I'll show you. Now, obviously, this is a green blade. If you don't like that color, down aux and hit power, and you'll hear that sound. Now we can twist the saber like this and cycle through any color we want, right? I'm going to go back to green though. That's where we had it. And then just hit the button, power button, and you'll hear that noise. So now when we turn this on, you got a green saber. These both have the exact same configuration and same sound fonts. The Infinium. I just made this one kind of a purple. It's more like almost like an orange blade. So I wanted this one to have kind of an unstable. And then I left a couple of the stock fonts on here as well, so the customer can play around with those, right? So we'll turn this back on and we'll take the blade out and go over taking the battery out, which is super simple, right? We'll just take the pommel off again. This thing will slide right out in your hand just like that. And then from the positive side over by the speaker, you can pop it out with your finger. And then we'll throw this back in the saber for safekeeping. So that's the Infinium saber. And then we'll go over the Scrapflex real quick. Both of these sabers have switches by Phil Guinness. I don't remember if I said that already, but the brass switch is here. And then the one gold switch over here. These are copper switches, not brass. Sorry, they're copper switches. And then the brass switch over here by Phil Guinness is your main activation. And then we've got this little dome tactile right here. That is, it's the auxiliary. This has also CC sabers for main PCB. And then you open this one from the pommel as well. We'll take this guy out. And again, this chassis will slide right out in your hand just like that. And then here's your chassis. So same idea as the other one. It just has some different aesthetics here. Snap fit down for the Proffie board right here. Little Smuggler's Outpost emblem. Like I like to do. This one's actually running a 28mm SO Elite speaker. So that's back here. It's recessed inside the chassis a bit. So this guy, the pommel can hit up against the chassis and you don't get any sound distortion. And then you have removable battery here as well. So you just bring side being over here. This also uses Smuggler's Outpost Switch Pixel PCB set. It's usually the only thing that I like to use, right? So they if it's a removable chassis, that's what I'm doing. And then your 14 pins are in there that you can barely see. And those don't come out either. So we'll throw a battery in this guy. And we'll just toss this in any way you want to. And then put the pommel on. Lock it all the way down, as this has the exact same configuration. So you have motion controls. Auxiliary. Twist off. Or we could just hit activation. When activating with the switch, you gotta be kind of quick. You don't want to hang on the activation switch too long. You'll put it into mute mode, and because these switches don't have that little clicky feel, it takes a little bit of getting used to just to hit it quick. Just like that. And then blade retention being this guy right here as well. I'm just going to do this one with my finger as well, but this takes a 1-inch diameter blade. And we'll put this in and lock it down. See it right there? Right here. This thing is super loud. I usually run clash sensitivity around a 3.8. I bumped it up to a 4.3 on this guy because it's just, this thing is banging out the back, right? It's just loud.
Hero's Journey.
A good slow swing.
Reconcile. Starfall
then we're on to the stock fonts right there, so we'll stop there because those are kind of boring. But anyway, yeah, everything's working like they should on this guy too. Take this blade out real quick. And then same thing to take the battery out of this. We'll just take the chassis back out. It'll slide right out to your hand. And then you can come in from the positive side right here by the speaker and pull it out with your finger just like that. And slide it back into the saber. So yeah, those are your two sabers. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, we'll try to package these up and get them out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks, man.